For several decades now, a cluster of transportation and aerospace manufacturing companies has been growing in Clinton County around Plattsburgh. 40 companies are generating some 9,000 jobs. But there's a drag on that growth. Gary Douglas is president of the North Country Chamber of Commerce.
Part of our commitment is to help meet their changing and future needs so they can not only be sustained here and prosper here, but grow here. And it became very clear a couple of years ago that one of the critical needs was for highly skilled welders.
Not enough welders. But there's a new free program that's trying to change that. It offers free childcare, and it's trying to train the next generation of welders. That's today's story of the day.
Support for Story of the Day comes from the St. Lawrence County Community Development Program, now accepting applications for the Head Start program to prepare children ages 3 to 5 for school. Online at slccdp.org/head-start.
Hey, I'm David Sommerstein. It's Thursday, September 10th. First up, state police say a trooper-involved crash in Potsdam Saturday left 2 people with life-threatening injuries. Trooper Matthew Baker was reportedly driving east on Route 11 in a marked patrol vehicle with emergency lights and sirens activated. Police say as he approached the intersection near Walmart, the light turned red and he struck an SUV. The driver and front seat passenger were transported to UVM Medical Center in Burlington. Police say 25-year-old Megan McAnulty of Norwood and 28-year-old Wyatt Parker of Mansville suffered life-threatening injuries. 2 other passengers and the trooper were treated for minor injuries. A state police spokesperson said her agency will not be providing more information about the crash at this time. The hospital's communications department didn't respond to a request for McAnulty's and Parker's condition Tuesday. An environmental advisory group for St. Lawrence County is looking to recruit more members. It reports to the County Board of Legislators. Catherine Wheeler has more.
Members of the St. Lawrence County Environmental Management Council are appointed by county legislators. EMC Chair Sue Rao says the group gathers information on current environmental topics like pollution in the Deer River or invasive species and presents it to lawmakers so they can make decisions.
That's not all we can do. We can go out there and we can educate the community.
Rao says they're looking for more members to join the EMC because of impending turnover. Members serve for 2 years before they have to be reappointed. Rao says it's a good place for people who have an expertise or special interest in the environment. The EMC doesn't set policy, but it allows citizens to get in on the ground floor of issues that the county is going to be taking on in the future, like water quality, and help come up with solutions.
If you're part of the EMC and you're understanding that they're going to be checking the landfills and they're going to be checking sewage sludge and they're checking water systems, then you can feel that you're helping your neighbors and you're helping the county to do some planning for something that might possibly be a major health and cleanup issue in the future.
Rao says she's hoping to recruit younger members to join the ranks and residents from the southern part of St. Lawrence County for more geographic representation. Interested people can apply through the county's website. Catherine Wheeler, North Country Public Radio.
Plattsburgh's aerospace and transportation sector is booming, but the factories have struggled to fill highly technical welding jobs. A relatively new program is trying to change that by training homegrown North Country welders at Clinton Community College. It's free, and it removes traditional educational barriers like transportation and childcare. Amy Feiereisel reports.
Gabe Nally is tall and has short red hair. He has a welding helmet on and is wearing coveralls. Nally works as a welder for Alstom, a railcar manufacturer with a big factory in Plattsburgh.
Me personally, I'm a pipe fitter, and so I have to go through in some of the weirdest positions you can imagine. Like I'm welding left-handed with a mirror backwards.
It's highly technical welding. Nally says that makes it more engaging than what he used to do here, working on the assembly line.
Kind of see it as more of like an art form. You know, you actually got to sit there and control the bead, and you have to like work with the temperatures and all your different settings. So it's a lot more hands-on, a higher skill set, right? So it makes me feel more valued as like an employee.
Last spring, Nally was in the first cohort of an accelerated welding program in Plattsburgh. He says the program helped him move forward in life.
Well, I mean, there's obviously the money factor, right? There's a huge pay boost just going from being an assembler to a skilled laborer. So, I mean, that has given me a lot of opportunities just with my family and my personal life, but also just skill set-wise, like, it's definitely opened up a lot of possibilities.
The Welding Academy is a joint effort between the North Country Chamber of Commerce, Lincoln Electric, local manufacturers, and Clinton Community College, where the training actually happens in a big industrial space.
So we're up on the catwalk. It's a kind of a bird's eye view of the Institute of Advanced Manufacturing.
Padraig Patty Bean is one of the instructors for the program, which is a 3-week, 120-hour intensive course. He says the ultimate goal is to train local folks who are interested in welding to help supply Plattsburgh's manufacturing factories. When Bean used to recruit welders for Alstom, he struggled.
I mean, we traveled up to Massachusetts, Connecticut. We traveled all over the place to try to recruit welders, and it was incredibly difficult.
The American Welding Society says by 2026, the U.S. will be short about 370,000 welders.
Not only is there need in the North Country, there's need all over the country.
The Welding Academy won't make up all that gap, but it could make a difference in Plattsburgh, especially for non-traditional students. Joel Woods works at the North Country Chamber of Commerce and helped build this program.
And what we hear from the students is, I had an opportunity, I missed it, or I didn't go to vocational school and I should have.
It's been competitive to get a slot in each 12-student cohort. Woods says the first cohort had 150 applicants. The third cohort graduated in May, surrounded by their families and loved ones.
Ryan Bombard.
Yeah, Ryan!
One of the graduates is 25-year-old Sienna Brooks. She lives in Altona, about 20 miles from Plattsburgh. She says she couldn't take the time or spend the money on a traditional welding training program.
Most other programs I looked into were, $4 to $10 grand, which really was not on my financial plate at the time.
Brooks lives by herself and has animals. But the Welding Academy is free. It reimburses students for their travel and will pay for childcare. It even offers a stipend to account for the 3 weeks participants won't be working.
That was really a sigh of relief when they told me that I would have that stipend check, because then I wasn't worried about rent, my car bill, my car payment, and all of that. And I actually had the peace of mind to focus on my studies.
Brooke says she'd like to work as a solar panel or wind turbine tech.
I want to be that welder they send out to put everything together out in the field and, make sure it works properly. I'd really like to be that person.
The first 4 cohorts of the Welding Academy in 2023 and 2024 were funded by grants from the Northern Border Regional Commission and Empire State Development and donations from local manufacturers. This year, the Academy got more money in the New York State budget, which will fund at least 2 more cohorts in Plattsburgh in 2025. Patty Bean says this is something everyone has been able to get behind.
We have people from the Biden administration, people from the Stefanik administration. Something like this, it transcends politics and it goes deep to the need of the community. No matter where you sit, people need good paying jobs. People need to be able to support themselves, support their family, and support local industry.
36 students have started the program and 36 have graduated. Joel Woods keeps in touch with the graduates and says the majority are working locally in welding. After the graduation, the whole cohort heads over to Alstom for a factory tour. Alstom builds trains and rail cars in a huge 280,000 square foot facility in Plattsburgh. They have just under 300 employees.
When you're on the inside, That compared to the 3-ton we had at Clinton, that is insane.
Alstom recently built a dedicated space for on-site welding practice with 6 welding booths. The company is looking for another 50 to 60 welders to complete contracts it's already accepted. So these freshly minted graduates of the Welding Academy are looking pretty good. General Manager Jeffrey Lambert makes an offer at the end of the tour.
Last thing we have on the agenda is for anybody that is interested in hanging out, Tyler and Clara from HR are available if anybody is interested in having a conversation about any opportunities that we have.
That's when talk of hourly pay, double for overtime, and an 11% 401k match comes out. The demand is here, and so now are another 12 local people with the right skills. Amy Feiereisel, North Country Public Radio in Plattsburgh.
The Welding Academy's 4th cohort will start at the end of September. We have more news all the time on our website, ncpr.org. Music today by Alan Dunham of South Glens Falls and Jared Sommerfeld of Potsdam. I'm David Sommerstein, North Country Public Radio.